All right, guys. We got this video here. It's called Why Everyone Turned on James Corden. It's by my best friend in the world, Internet Agent. Yeah, I know I'm late to the party with why people don't like James Corden, but I saw, I got a nice video for it, so let's get this going. I have no idea why people don't like him anymore. I didn't even know people didn't like him anymore. I saw a couple people talk about it back in the day, like a month ago, but I was like, all right, whatever. So let's see what we got.
Right here in LA, it's so beautiful. Harvey Weinstein has already asked tonight up to his hotel to give him a massage.
Oh, got him.
It has been weird this week though, hasn't it? Watching Harvey Weinstein in hot water. Ask any of the women who watched him take a bath. It's weird watching Harvey Weinstein in hot water.
Okay.
Hello, late night guests. Internet Jay here. Becoming a late night talk show host is a difficult task. Some of them went to Harvard like Conan O'Brien, while others were on SNL like Jimmy Fallon.
Did Conan O'Brien really go to Harvard? I love Conan. Frick you, Jay Leno.
On top of that, late night hosts often have a resume chock full of show business experience, intense comedic talent, and the ability to carry a conversation with literally anyone. As you guys know, I have none of those, which explains why I talk into a mic in a dark room by myself. Alright, so I'm gonna have a less pathetic creator take over. Optimus. No, not Prime, you idiot, but rather the commentary YouTuber.
Okay, so James Corden is the host of The Late Late Show, which he took over from Craig Ferguson like a true Englishman to a Scotsman. His tenure was filled with
I
massive
forgot about Craig Ferguson. Wow, okay.
successes, including winning 9 Primetime Emmy Awards, visiting Joe Biden.
Good for a Jay doing some collabs.
And even having a 28 million subscriber YouTube channel. However, Corden has been involved in a series of controversies over the years and is now one of the most hated people on the internet. I mean, his show currently has a 1.3 Google rating with tons of terrible comments. The worst part is he did it to himself. Corden forgot his own cameraman's names, yelled at Patrick Stewart on television, and was even banned from the New York City restaurant Balthazar for yelling at the waitstaff. This is how James Corden destroyed his own career. Please subscribe to Internet Ajay if you haven't already and hit the notification bell so you know.
Leno's in the wait, what? He's in the hospital for burns? Listen, bro, he messed over Conan. I'm sorry, but Conan literally is the #1 talk show host of all time ever in any capacity.
When he uploads. Do that now.
Also, please like the video because it would truly mean a lot and I'd be forever grateful for the support. Before I get into it, I just want to thank today's sponsor, Established Titles. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate.
Is it just me or is Jay's audio just kind of bizarre today? I don't know.
With a crest. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. I think it's so incredible.
Alright, it sounds cringe. Let's see. Plus, these people look cringe, so I'm buying that.
People purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a lord or lady, we can build our little Internet Ajay kingdom. It makes an amazing last-minute gift.
I'd rather just do like a Minecraft SMP, dude.
Go to Corden, yes.com/Ajay to get your gifts now and help support the channel. Now back to the video. James Kimberly Corden, yes seriously that's his real full name, was born in Greater London, England. He rose to fame in the year 2000 when he starred in the British TV series Fat Friends as Jamie Reiner. It was a drama that explored the lives of various heavyset individuals who were trying to lose weight. In 2007, James co-starred in the BBC Three sitcom Gavin and Stacey. I
guess he lost some weight and then he became less funny. I guess that's what just happens, man. That's just life.
Was extremely well liked and earned him a BAFTA for Best Comedy Performance. After appearing on Doctor Who and in the movie Gulliver's Travels, Corden began hosting The Late Late Show on March 23, 2015. Although he was somewhat of a surprise choice to many, he actually reinvigorated the 12:30 a.m. time slot. He breathed air into it like it was a passed out hooker who did too much cocaine. Sorry, I didn't mean to insult your mother. One of the biggest ways he did this was with the hit series Carpool.
I was to say, some of these jokes, Jay, they just feel weirdly forced, all right? It's a hard joke. What the fuck?
Karaoke. As part of it, he drove celebrities around in a Range Rover and often singed along to their music. His first ever one with fellow UKer Adele currently has over 250 million views.
Whoa.
In it, the two just bantered back and forth.
You know why James Corden is canceled? Because it turns out they weren't actually driving the car. They had another car towing them while they were going, so that they did. Isn't that crazy? So that they wouldn't actually get pulled over and arrested. So they had a car. It's on like a track. Have you ever seen it? Like, I'm being serious. It's a real thing. They had cars on a track. It's like a fucking tow truck pulls them around.
I can't work out if I should wear a wig or have a weave.
I mean, what I like is that you're coming to me for this advice.
They also sang her song Hello together. Adele even revealed personal tidbits like the fact that she played the drums in Hello.
You playing the drums?
Play the drums
no way. Just shredding on the drums.
Fans loved watching the series more than Larry Strong enjoyed watching Queen Allison's feet. Okay, maybe not that much. Continuing the popular series, Corden later brought on Cardi B. The duo rapped their tracks together while fans laughed at the fact James Corden actually took the time to thoroughly learn her lyrics.
Well, that's kind of his job, isn't it?
Surprisingly, James held his own and poked fun at Cardi for owning 5 cars but still not knowing how to drive.
Here's my biggest
That's
question.
funny.
You can't drive.
No.
So what's the point of having the cars?
To take pictures, baby.
That's silly.
He then upped the ante by teaching her, which resulted in utter chaos.
It's okay, roll back. It's fine, it's just a cone. Okay.
Why can't I see the flag?
Right, stop. Right, stop now, stop. People are afraid.
I mean, the entertainment value was through the roof, and each episode of Carpool Karaoke went viral. I mean, his Carpool Karaoke with Bruno Mars garnered over 147 million views, his Ariana Grande one received over 86 million, and his Paul McCartney one got over 67 million. Beyond
Damn.
views, though, James...
When's the Papa Gut one, huh? You know what I'm saying, dude? When's that one?
proved he could interact with celebrities and entertain fans alike without being confined to a studio. He put smiles on the faces of millions by just sitting in a car. The videos reminded the audience of the good times they had jamming to music in their car with their friends. Also, James dressed casually instead of wearing a stiff suit like other hosts did. He showed off his personal side, which made him more relatable. Corden was different, and this made people want to watch him.
And I don't think there's nothing I can do now to right my wrongs.
He was the chill
Yeah. By the way, the Jews did 9/11. Sorry, that was Kanye's. The next verse of that song. Nobody actually picked it up when he was singing it, though.
funny guy who liked to hang out. His comedy wasn't based on polished sketches or dry political humor, but rather by being himself. The astronomical success of Carpool Karaoke propelled James to stardom. He was on the rocket ship of fame with unlimited fuel. By early 2017, he made a name for himself in Hollywood. He landed movie roles like Ocean's 8 and even won a Tony for Best Actor in the play One Man, Two Governors. Oh, and of course, Carpool Karaoke won a Daytime Emmy for Best Special, beating out Beyonce's documentary, Homecoming. But the cracks in Buckingham Palace began to show when a video surfaced of Carpool Karaoke being filmed with
right there.
the help of a rig.
Oh wait, that I was kidding. Like I feel like everybody should have known that they weren't actually driving. That can't be part of the actual cancellation, right? I was making a fucking joke. I was like, yeah, didn't you know it was on the like? Yeah, we should have known that it was on the rails because like that would be illegal if they actually drove it around. Oh fuck! I was just kidding. Wow, people actually upset about that? There's no way people were actually like legitimately upset about that. That would be literal nut bars, bro.
He later stated he does drive and only uses the rig when safety is a concern.
But I just want to say right now that I always drive the car unless we're doing something where we think it might not be safe.
In 2017, the public discovered how little James knew about his own production staff when Jimmy Kimmel asked him to name 2 cameramen in the room as part of a segment called Spill Your Guts. Sadly, he failed to even name one and awkwardly tried to get out of the situation with a joke.
Name 2 of the cameramen in this room.
That's fucked up.
That is a great question. It's a different crew tonight, actually.
It was clear the fame got to Corden.
That's funny. That's so fucked up. I don't care. I don't care if he doesn't know his own cameraman. I don't know what the dynamic is. Yeah, maybe he should. I just don't give that much of a shit. Who cares? Do people actually get upset by that? It's just kind of stupid and funny. I mean, if he started hitting them, then I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe this guy isn't so good. But he just doesn't know the crew. I'm not really that upset about it. But
Corden's head. He was apparently too good to care about the people below him. In 2017, a UK newsletter called Pop Bitch reported James didn't bother helping his own wife who was carrying their baby on a plane. The story said, when the plane landed though, passengers were surprised to see Corden remain seated as the woman with the baby struggled to open the overhead locker. And even more surprised when she turned to Corden and said, for fuck's sake, can you at least hold the baby while I get the bags down? The woman was his wife. The baby was his baby. On May 20th,
yeah, I don't care about that either. Listen, like I'm gonna be real with you. Like I'm tired of people speculating on like relationships in public. Maybe he's an asshole. Maybe they were fighting or something. Maybe I don't know what happened. Like there are times I don't help my wife doesn't help me because we're mad at each other. I just like I'm not like so far these little pieces by themselves mean very little to me. Like I don't know what to tell you.
2019, Corden held a Reddit
yeah,
AMA.
Yeah, if you're hitting them, you should know their names. True. If he was hitting them, I guess he would know their names then. Like that's an asshole for not helping the kid, his wife or whatever. But like I don't know what happened, dude. Like we fight sometimes. I don't fucking know. What do you want me to say? You know what I mean? So I don't really care that much.
Ask me anything. Sadly, it backfired worse than a boomerang with dynamite taped to it. It turns out Corden had absolutely no idea how much people disliked him and they let him know it. It was the worst AMA since Woody Harrelson's Rampart fiasco. For example, the most upvoted post called him out for treating the waitstaff at a restaurant terribly. Hey James, you won't remember me, but me and my friends sat at a table next to you and Harry Styles plus some others in Manchurian Legends in London's Chinatown about 6 years ago. We didn't bother you, but you were a massively entitled cunt who yelled and treated the waitstaff like shit, and when one of my party politely suggested you calm down, you got really aggressive and threatening. In a chubby way, like a boozy panda. So my question is this, why did Harry seem so cool while you were such a massive throbbing bellend? Honestly, being rude to the waitstaff is a major red flag for anyone and is extremely concerning.
Well, was that proven to be real? Or was that just a fucking Reddit post that exists? Okay.
Post wrote, James, I haven't the faintest idea who you are really, but Reddit assured me you're an asshole. So as a professional asshole, are bidets worth it? Or is that some weird advertising craze going on where people talk about spraying their ass with water instead of toilet paper?
Dude, not for nothing, but if somebody says, James, I hadn't the faintest idea who you really are, but Reddit assured me you're an asshole. The second that you're quoting Reddit as like a reasonable source of information, you lose all my respect. I need to see the proof of it. It was proven it was real. Okay, I got to see the proof. Obviously, I'm assuming a Jay will show us because like I don't respect Reddit at all. Reddit's a fucking waste of a platform, bro. People on there are fucking psychopaths. A huge New York restaurant banned them. Well, that's a different instance. So maybe it did happen. We'll get to it, I'm sure.
My concern as a guy would be spraying around cold water on my balls. I think that sucked. Anyway, as an asshole, what's your take on it? Things went from bad to worse when a month after the AMA, one of Corden's producers wrote on Twitter in April 2019 that James tried to pay his writers less money. I'd like to state once again for the record that I went to a WGA meeting for only late night writers, and James Corden showed up without any of his staffers to advocate for a lower pay grade for late night writers. After
Why would he do that? What the fuck?
these issues came to light, many fans began to wonder if James had changed because of the newfound popularity of his show. Perhaps the overweight comedian finally got the attention he deserved and simply took things too far. After all, he was passed over for movie roles due to his weight, so maybe he wasn't used to being a hotshot. I mean, people react differently when the attention is on them, especially when they were outcast before. However, after I dug into his past, it was apparent his behavior wasn't new at all. James had always been like this, it's just that no one ever really noticed. You see,
I'm trying to see what was the context of him saying that they should get less pay. Let's see.
All the way back in 2010, Corden hosted the Glamour Awards. Shockingly, instead of being grateful to be there, he was on his phone texting and looked disinterested the entire time. His behavior...
Hold on. Why would he advocate for lower pay? Like, what's the context? This is so bizarre. I need a little bit more. I don't know. I don't understand.
Behavior royally pissed off the legendary Professor X, aka Sir Patrick Stewart. Patrick first pretended to not know who he was.
I want to speak to James here. It's James, isn't it?
Stewart then called James out for not being present.
When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. You couldn't be more wrong. Oh, genuinely. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it. There we go.
Yup, James Corden cursed at a veteran actor and knight, which demonstrated his massive hubris.
I don't know. In that scenario, it sounded like Patrick Stewart was like in the right to call him out, but he called him out publicly, and he, like anybody else, he got upset. He got his ego hurt, so he made a joke back. I mean, they were both joking around about a more serious thing. Okay, I'm not like shitting and farting over that one. I get what you're saying, I guess.
Patrick then took another jab by saying he could see his belly, which prompted James to reply that he could see him dying.
From where I was sitting, I can see your belly.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on. No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
No, go on.
Whoa, now he's getting a little too aggressive. Okay, now he's getting a little too aggressive here. What the fuck?
Punchline, go on.
That he could see him dying.
From where I was sitting, I can see your belly.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on. No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
No, go on.
This part, this is where it's like, okay, you're getting like in the guy's face aggressive. You're supposed to be a comedian. Why are you getting so offended? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be a professional, taking it in stride guy. You know what I mean? This seems a little fucking, this part's getting a little crazy, dude. What the hell?
You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
Corden,
the joke wouldn't have been so bad if he wasn't so aggressive about it. Like, he's super fucking, like, what the fuck?
Trying to intimidate an elderly man by getting in his face was a terrible look.
Yeah,
And
that's
saying
the
he could see
really
him
bad
dying
part.
was pretty classless. All of
I thought
these
it was
actions
funny.
indicated
It's fun.
James had been a twat for a long while. Funny enough, Stewart knew exactly how to rile him up. Narcissists tend to explode when criticized, which is exactly what happened to Corden. Over the year, James's positive reputation declined significantly. The once lovable Brit became hated. Exposed videos began to pop up left and right on YouTube as people compiled his worst moments. People claimed he was having his Ellen moment, but in my opinion, a decade of bad behavior isn't exactly a moment. In 2020, Corden revealed he went to therapy back in 2008 after being intoxicated by the fame of his show Gavin and Stacey. Unfortunately, he only decided to do so after fellow cast member Rob Brydon told him it was time for an attitude adjustment. Now, I want to emphasize that I think therapy is an extremely positive tool, and I'm not trying to shame him for going.
So this guy actually had to go to therapy because he was getting so full of himself? Holy fuck. That's a... I mean, good for him to go to therapy, but holy moly. They really get that shit get to your head, huh? That's great nanners.
In fact, I love therapy and used to go myself. However, I think therapy only works if the person is willing to change and puts in the appropriate time and effort. But based on Corden's actions since 2008, it doesn't seem like he took it seriously. Unfortunately, his toxic behavior caught up to him again in October 2022 when he was accused of being nasty to staff at the New York City restaurant Balthazar. As a result, the owner of the restaurant, Keith McNally, made an Instagram post saying he banned James Corden, which shocked the internet. James Corden is a hugely gifted comedian, but a tiny cretin of a man. And the most abusive customers might...
Sorry. That's fucking harsh. Holy shit.
Balthazar server since the restaurant opened 25 years ago.
Damn.
I went off an 86 a customer to today I 86 Corden. It did not make me laugh. Here are two examples of the funny man's treatment of my staff.
Hey, listen, a lot of respect to the was that the manager of the store? Oh, that was the owner of the store, right? A lot of respect to that guy for banning a fucking celebrity from his store, for being a dickhead, because like that's protecting your workers one-on-one right there. So I respect that.
Report number 1. In June, James Corden was here on table 61. Although this is diabolical, it happens very occasionally in all restaurants. After eating his main course, Corden showed the hair to Balthazar manager G, who was very apologetic. Corden was extremely nasty to G and said...
Hold on, wait, what? There was a hair in his food?
Main course, Corden showed the hair to Balthazar...
Wait.
Here are two examples of the funny man's treatment of my staff. Manager's report number 1. In June, James Corden was here on table 61. Although this is diabolical, it happens very occasionally in all restaurants. After eating his main course, Corden showed the hair to Balthazar manager G, who was very apologetic.
So there was a hair in his food?
Corden was extremely nasty to G and said, "Get us another round of drinks this second, and also take care of all of our drinks so far. This way I write any nasty reviews in Yelp or anything like that."
So I don't know. So wait, was there hair in his food? Is that why he got so upset by that? Is that what happened? I mean, I guess I'd be kind of pissed too, but I don't know. I wouldn't be that pissed. I probably wouldn't yell. I'd be like, "Hey, bro, this is kind of fucked up." Although if I was at an upscale restaurant, I'd probably be like, I don't know. I'd be pretty irritated. I wouldn't have that response though. It wouldn't be. That's like disproportionate, I think. I'd be like, "Bro, there's a fucking hair in my food. Like, this is disgusting." I might say that and like ask to be calmed in some capacity, but I wouldn't really. Maybe who's just being a dick about it or something. That's the argument. But
Manager's report number 2. James Corden was at Balthazar with his wife on October 9th for brunch. He asked for a table outside. Brunch mater D, Ali Walters, took the party to table 301. Mr. Corden's wife ordered an egg yolk omelet with Gruyere cheese and salad. A few minutes after they received the food, James called their server MK and told her there was a little bit of egg white mixed with the egg yolk. MK informed the floor manager G. The kitchen remade the dish, but unfortunately sent it with home fries instead of salad. That's when James Corden began yelling like crazy to the server. "You can't do your job. You can't do your job. Maybe I should go into the kitchen and cook the omelet myself." MK was very apologetic and brought G over to the table. He returned the dish, and after that, everything was fine. He gave them promo champagne glasses to smooth things out. G said that Corden was pleasant to him but nasty to the server. MK was very shaken, but professional that she is, continued to finish her shift. Soon after, though, McNally updated everyone with another post saying Corden had apologized, so he was unbanned like an incel in Amaranth's chat. James Corden just called me and apologized profusely. "Having fucked up myself more than most people, I strongly believe in second chances. So if James Corden lets me host his late show for 9 months, I'll immediately rescind his ban from Balthazar." No, of course not. But anyone magnanimous enough to apologize to a deadbeat layabout like me and my staff doesn't deserve to be banned from anywhere, especially Balthazar. So come back to the 5 and dime, Jimmy Corden, all is forgiven.
all right, whatever. I mean, like, listen, it sounds like this guy, in both of those cases, it sounds like James had like a reason to be pissed off, a justifiable reason to be pissed off. It just sounds like he was just disproportionate in his expression of that, and like that's obviously a problem. But if he, I mean, I guess he apologized. Okay, you know.
X. But just when the situation seemed to be resolved, James told the New York Times a different story. In an interview that was published after Keith McNally's post, James claimed he had not only done nothing wrong, but also pointed out another diner who had sent back eggs. "I haven't done anything wrong on any level," he told the outlet. "So why would I ever cancel this interview? I was there, I get it. I feel so zen about the whole thing, because I think it's so silly. I just think it's beneath all of us. It's beneath you. It's certainly beneath your publication." The conversation with Corden reportedly took place at a restaurant where he and the reporter witnessed a diner sending back eggs. Happens every day. It's happening in 55,000 restaurants as we speak. It's always about eggs, he told the reporter. He added, "Can you imagine now if we just blasted her on Twitter? Would that be fair? This is my point. It's insane."
Well, I think it's to me, it's very clearly that it was justifiable for him to send back his food. It was just his attitude in it. Like what had happened the one time? They've actually got egg white in. First of all, I wouldn't send that back. I mean, Balazar, whatever the fuck, sounds like an upscale restaurant, so I guess there's different expectations. Me personally, like you could fuck up half my meal, and I'd be like, I don't want to be rude. There's times where I'll be like, oh, excuse me, this is messed up. Can you please? That's the problem. It sounds like he's just a dickhead when he has disproportionate responses when people mess up. So he's justified in what he's doing, just not the way he's doing it, if that makes sense.
After reading the shocking interview, McNally wrote a fiery Instagram post in response. Storm in a restaurant teacup. I have no wish to cook a man when he's down, especially one who's worth 100 million, but when James Corden said in yesterday's New York Times that he hadn't done anything wrong on any level, was he joking? Or was he denying being abusive to my servers? Whatever Corden meant, his implication was clear. He didn't do it. Although I didn't witness the incident, lots of my restaurant's floor staff did. They had nothing to gain by lying. Corden did. I wish James Corden would live up to his almighty initials and come clean. If the supremely talented actor wants to retrieve the respect he had from all his fans, all 4 of them before this incident, then he should at least admit he did wrong. If he goes one step further and apologizes to the 2 servers he insulted, I'll let him eat for free at Balthazar for the next 10 years.
Damn.
On October 25th, 2022, Corden apologized on the late...
Should I apologize for that fucking 10-year shit, bro? I'd lie. Oh, I did this. I want free food.
Late Show for his actions. He first stated his wife had a serious food allergy but was given the food she was allergic to. Notably, it happened 3 times, which caused him to make a rude comment about making it himself.
Is that true?
So when everybody's meals came, my wife was given the food that she was allergic to. But no, she hadn't taken a bite of it or anything. No worries, we sent it back, all was good.
What was the food that she's allergic to then? I thought it was egg whites that was in her eggs. There's no way that you're allergic to egg whites but not eggs. What are they talking about?
As her meal came wrong to the table the 3rd time, in the heat of the moment, I made a sarcastic, rude comment, right, about cooking it myself. And it is a comment I deeply regret.
Corden then mentioned...
Well, I mean, if they were actually kept bringing out something that she was allergic to and you were explicit about that, it's you have every... Like, I would be... Then, like, I wouldn't care if he was being a dick because, you know, you could kill somebody. Okay, if this scenario is true, where she was allergic to something and they made that explicitly clear and they kept bringing it out to her 3 times, I would have been really nasty too to the waitress because at that point you're just trying to kill my wife. But what's the food that they're allergic to? Because I'm a little skeptical because that doesn't really make sense to me that they would mess up 3 times and bring something that she's allergic to 3 times. So, like, what is it that he's referring to?
He loved the restaurant, the staff, and couldn't wait to apologize in person.
It was never my intention. It just wasn't. And I love that restaurant. I love the staff there. I hope I'm allowed in again one
Name two people at the restaurant.
day. So when I'm back in New York, I can go there and apologize in person, which is something I will absolutely do.
Although the apology seemed heartfelt, I find it pretty hard to ignore his chronic history of verbally abusing everyone around him.
I don't know if it seems heartfelt to me. It seems like he might be lying because we never heard this whole allergy thing. It's hard to believe.
I also didn't like how he dragged his father into it and showed his parents on TV to elicit sympathy.
Never complain, never explain is very much my motto. But as my dad pointed out to me on Saturday, he said, son, well, you did complain, so you might need to explain.
Doing so made everything seem like a planned out PR move instead of a genuine apology. It also...
I guess. I think that part you're kind of stretching a little bit there, Jay. Who cares? His parents were there.
Also seems like he wasn't going to say sorry at all until his dad told him to, like he was a 5-year-old. His apology reminded me of the typical YouTuber ones who only did...
That doesn't communicate that to me at all. Okay. I don't know. It just sounds like, hey, maybe he invited his parents. He's like, I fucked up. Maybe he actually had a conversation with his parents about it. You know, you're never too old to get advice from your parents. You know, I still get advice from my mother. It's a very normal person thing to do. So maybe like the parents went there and he panned over to them and he's like, you know what? I talked to my father about it, which sounds exactly what happened. I talked to my father about it and I had to apologize. It's like, okay, that doesn't sound like the dad prompted him to apologize like a 5-year-old. That's a weird interpretation of that.
So once they got caught and their toxic behavior was exposed. Granted, he did say sorry privately, but remember he took it back when the New York Times interviewed him. That indicates he clearly didn't mean it. He probably just did it to shut the owner of Balthazar up because he called him out on Instagram. Also, he apologized to the owner and not the servers themselves, which implies he only values people with status. Remember...
Me too, bro. Me too. I would never apologize to some fucking pleb. Oh, you're serving my food? Fuck you. I'm just kidding.
Corden's behavior was an isolated incident, then I could give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's just one of many. I just don't buy it. And neither did McNally, who said he felt the confessional was phony. Throughout his career, James mistreated writers, waiters, and his own wife, aka the 3 W's. Oh, and he even had the audacity...
I mean, like, now we're getting a little too, like, now you're just getting stupid. The whole wife thing people need to knock off. You're a fucking child for that one. Like, listen, you want to talk about the waitstaff? I get that, but, like, there's one instance where, like, with his wife, where, like, he wasn't attentive enough and helped her on the plane. That doesn't mean he's a fucking abusive husband. All right, it just means that he wasn't acting optimally. You're gonna be with somebody for years of your life. You're not going to do everything perfectly. Like, it's just you have to be. You must be a fucking virgin if you don't understand that. It doesn't even sound like he acted right in that airplane scenario. But to me, what it reminds me of, it's like they might have been fighting in some capacity. It's not my fucking business. He's not hitting her. He's not beating her. There's no allegation like that. I don't care. He just seems like kind of an asshole sometimes. I just hate like the whole moral prescription on people's relationships, as if nobody ever dated somebody before and understands that things are less than ideal. Like, sometimes people just don't act perfectly with their fucking partner because they're with them for a significant portion of their life. Everyone's gonna fuck up.
To make this sketch in October 2017.
Hey, James. I was just wondering if you've ever eaten at Lucy's Bistro on 3rd Street.
Yes.
You didn't leave much of a tip.
I know why. I didn't have cash on me because I gave the valet, I gave him $20.
You didn't give me $20. You actually didn't tip me at all.
Yeah, it's not exactly funny to not tip waiters or the valet.
Well, that joke's funny because it makes fun of his obnoxious behavior at the restaurant. So that's why it's funny. He's trying to take a joke a little bit. You know what I mean?
Hey, I used to be a busboy at a Chinese restaurant, so people who didn't tip were the worst. I don't understand the comedic value of the sketch.
Well, listen here, okay? Let me listen to Jay. First of all, I always tip when I go to every restaurant that I go to. Always. But not for nothing. I don't tip as much at the Chinese buffet. He said restaurant or buffet?
Used to be a busboy at a Chinese restaurant, so
he said Chinese restaurant. Okay, I thought he said buffet. Because I don't tip that much at the buffet, because all they do is bring you a drink and take your plate every once in a while. Okay, just because they take 17 plates doesn't mean that you deserve a tip now. Like, I'll usually get 2 plates of food and then I'm done. But when I go to like a restaurant, like a sit-down restaurant that's not a buffet, they do a lot more, they do a lot more running around. I still tip, just usually like less. I'll usually do like a 10-15% tip at the buffet, and like a 20 or 30% tip at a restaurant. But he didn't say buffet. He just said restaurant. Sorry.
People who didn't tip were the worst. I don't understand the comedic value of the sketch, and looking back on it now with this new perspective makes it especially cringeworthy. Thinking making fun of stiffing staff is entertaining reveals just how out of touch with reality Corden is. He even stole a joke from Ricky Gervais and admitted to inadvertently using it on Twitter. Ultimately,
oh, okay. Who cares? That happens to people sometimes. Like, they hear a joke somewhere and they accidentally use it as part of their thing. I don't think it's that deep.
James Corden ended
his apologize, so I don't.
Own career by acting like an entitled asshole to literally every living organism on Earth. I think Corden let the golden opportunity to be in the entertainment industry get to his head. Instead of seeing it as a privilege, he felt entitled to it. He attacked Patrick Stewart, was too good to remember his cameramen's names, and worst of all, refused to change. Personally, I think Corden will continue to be a device for cleaning a woman's sex organ for the foreseeable future. I mean, he only decided to apologize on air once the Balthazar situation blew out of control.
Douches are bad for you, by the way.
I think James should try to be more humble considering the fortunate position he's in. Not everyone gets to make millions of dollars and talk to celebrities for a living. However, he has to realize this and be willing to better himself. That's the only way I could see him correcting his negative self-image. He actually has to work on himself, and some people just don't want to. I sincerely hope he does, but we will have to wait and see. Interestingly, in April 2022, he revealed he would be leaving The Late Late Show by summer 2023. Perhaps that's best for everyone. Make sure to comment below for any video topics you want me to do. Thanks so much for watching.
So this is why everybody was upset with James Corden for this is it? This is everything? James Corden's just kind of an asshole? Who cares? Why the fuck are people... I've seen videos from people that are like, James Corden, a fucking scumbag. Like, this isn't that big of a deal. It's not even that deep. It's not that big of a... I mean, it's not optimal, but who cares? It's not that bad. He's just kind of a dickhead to waitresses. Like, just so you guys know, wait staff aren't fucking immortal gods that we need to infinitely respect. I'm not saying that you should treat them poorly, but, like, it doesn't sound like... I don't know. He sounds like kind of an asshole, but, like, not in a way where, like, oh, my God. Like, if I was a James Corden fan, I wouldn't stop watching James Corden because of this, to be honest with you. In the Cats movie. Ah, that's why. Okay, now that you said that, now I think it's perfectly reasonable to cancel this guy.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.